Today's episode is sponsored by Home Chef. Home Chef provides fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience.
For a limited time, Home Chef is offering all PODs 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/Dudesy. That's homechef.com/Dudesy for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard that right. Homechef.com/Dudesy. You must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. So you're still in Italy. Have you accrued any more Italian injuries?
Oh, only emotional injuries because it's so beautiful here and I have to leave soon.
You didn't have any physical injuries?
Oh, what'd you say?
I was asking if you had any physical injuries.
Yeah, no. Oh, I hear you, yeah. Well, we'll have plenty of time to talk during the show.
Okay.
All you gotta do for me.
Oh man, you know, I miss the studio. I miss my pal Chal. I miss Lulio il cane di strada italiano and little sweetie Ronnie and Slash. But welcome to Dudesy. It is a Dudesy-ful day. I am Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen, the current reigning champion of Dudesy, holding it down stateside while Will is abroad, living his best life, eating his Italian foods, getting his Italian toe infections, caving in his Italian head. And this is Dudesy.
And
a podcast
doing a little bit of damage to the
friends. Yeah, this trip has taken years off your life.
It's also added years to my life because the Italians, specifically, I will say the Neapolitans in Napoli, man, they sure know how to live. It is really something else. It has given me a different outlook on a lot of things, and man, I'm just, when you go on a good trip and you just want to bring it back home, bring some of that mojo back home with you. Sure, I'm hoping to be able to do that. Yeah, I'm going to be Stella in this point, and I'm going to be waiting to exhale.
You met a younger man by the swimming pool, dude, and he made you feel like you were desirable again, dude.
Yeah, brother. Pretty soon I'm going to be under the Tuscan sun, brother, and I'm going to eat and pray and love, dude. I'm going to be chewing on that. I'm going to be talking like Julie Roberts, eating that mozzarella cheese going, they don't make it like this in New York, dude. At any rate, it's been a beautiful trip. I'm back in Napoli, which is the land of my blood, where my parents are from, and with my whole family. And I'm here in the hotel. They were nice enough to give me sort of this salotto, down in the bottom here. So even though it's a bit cavernous, and I'm sure there's a bit of an echo, it was nice of them to grant me this room so that the Wi-Fi is a little bit better. Thank you for sticking around with us, all the PODs, pals, dudes, as we have some technical shit.
Wi-Fi,
the show
dude.
is from one coast to another.
Nice, dude. Yeah, coast to coast.
Welcome to another episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy. Will, are you a permanent resident of Italy yet? I'm just kidding. I'm excited to have another fun hang with you guys as Will continues his studies abroad in Grand Italia. Chop it up, suckers.
No. I'm not. These aren't my studies abroad. I'm a student. I'm a student of life. I've been reading Meditations by
Marcus Aurelius.
So I'm a student there. But
dude.
I'm a
Italian,
damn near 50-year-old man. Yeah, brother. Everybody was Italian back then, dude. Yeah. Roman Empire. Yeah. Stretching far and wide.
Can you do an Italian Macho Man?
Mo io dico qualcosa. Sì, io sono un macho man. Yeah. Io vado tutti parti a Napoli. Yeah. Tudo. Yeah. E mo invece io io vado a tutti i porti a Napoli, Del Rio Umberto, yeah, Castel Sant'Elmo, I'm taking that funicular, yeah, un goppo, yeah, all the way to the top. E poi noi mangiare un poco pesce, un poco frutti di mare, insalata caprese, e un eggplant parmigiana, yeah, we call it melanzana parmigiana, yeah, e roti dritto cocos, Chad, yeah.
I guess you can.
E mo dice una
Jesus
cosa,
Christ.
dude, io sono
Oh, God.
Hulk Hogan italiano, dude. E guarda, braccia mie, proprio grosse, guarda. Io sono molto forte, dude. E quando io stanno combattendo, lotta, fai professional wrestling, dude, io tengo una spazzatura, kin a beer, Miller High Life, dude.
What about Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. Hey. Okay. Here. Scendi me. Io sono in Napoli, sono napoletano, yeah. E io vai al mare, e io affittare una barca, yeah. E poi guidare la barca, in goppo mare, sì, e va a Positano, a Posillipo, yeah. E poi bevo un prosecco, un po' espresso, yeah. Io bevo espresso. Yeah, not to drink American coffee anymore. No, io bevo solo espresso e poi va buona serata, buongiorno tutti quanti e va a concerto Gigi e Di Alessio a Piazza Plebiscite. Yeah.
Did you say you saw a concert?
Eppure, oh, you know
Did I
what?
catch that?
As we speak, right now, a little bit later, as we're recording this, I'm going to an Italian concert right nearby in Piazza Plebiscite, is what they call it, which is a beautiful space.
Nice.
There's an 8-show concert series by a big Italian musician. His name is Gigi Di Alessio. And we have tickets tonight. Bunch of my cousins are coming. It's going to be incredible. But I don't want to speak too soon because it's been a bit of a bitch getting a hold of my tickets from the StubHub app. I've been on the phone a cumulative 3.5 hours over 3 days, just trying to get the tickets that I bought. So it's been a bit of a mess, but hopefully excuse me, I'm drinking some Coke Zero. Hopefully all the cousins and everything will get in.
That's poison, dude.
When hold on, dude. When we're back stateside in the studio, maybe I'll have a little footage from the concert. Although
nice.
It might just bum me out because it'll make me want to get back on the plane. I don't know. I don't know. How are you, dude?
Chad, you've been gobbling up a lot of cards online in the past few weeks. Fill us in on your collecting journey.
Oh, God. I wish
Cards?
Dudesy hadn't seen that. Yeah, I, as you know, on and off over the course of my lifetime, I've been collecting Magic the Gathering cards. Mm-hmm. And I just got stung again hard by it. The current set that has come out, Modern Horizons 3. Yeah, I haven't bought any in a while. I kind of piecemeal have always been working on a beta set, which is like the holy grail of Magic that came out in 1994. But the current set that has come out, they are doing, I didn't even realize Magic was doing this, but they basically have started to do things very similar to how all the other trading card companies are doing it. Like Panini has their Prism series, which they do for all sports. WWE is one of them, where the regular set comes out and you can buy a box of the cards, but every once in a while you'll get these special cards that have like an autograph or a piece of like a wrestling uniform embedded in the card, or a piece of a mat from like a special match is embedded in the card. And all of those cards are numbered or there are numbered series that are like 1 of 250 or whatever. In some cases, like the LeBron James Jumpman card is a good example of that. It's a 1 of 1. And that card has embedded in it, I think it's pieces of 3 of his uniforms from 3 different championship games he played in or something, right?
Wow.
And somebody sold that card for a fuckload of money. I want to say it was like 500 grand or something, maybe even more. As soon as they opened it out of the pack, it was like up for auction, $500,000. So Magic has started to do a similar kind of thing where they'll put these special foil versions with different art in the packs that are numbered like 1 of 250. And so everybody's chasing those cards because it's immediate. Like you open it, that card sells for $5,000. So it's a little gambly, obviously, but yeah, I've been buying these fucking packs so much so that like I can't even wait for the ones I've ordered online to come to me. I have gone back into these stores that sell Magic cards, which I have not been in years, and I went into one the other night, and they were doing like a pre-release event for this new set, Modern Horizons 3. And it was walking into the store. It's called Paper Heroes. It's, if you're in Los Angeles, it's on Santa Monica, just west of the 405. And I walked in there and Laura was with me. And I was just like, whatever you're about to see, hold no judgment over me for this. We walked in and it was just a room full of like 100 dudes that are like, these are the Magic the Gathering dudes, you know, if you know.
Yeah.
And I just got immediately brought back to like when I was in college and I would go to the Costa Mesa Women's Center and play every Sunday in a giant Magic tournament and just being back in that vibe and shit. And I was like, something clicked in my brain where I was like, I will never play this game again at like the level that I used to, which was professional. But nor do I think I can like sit there for fucking 6 hours on a Saturday afternoon playing in a tournament or whatever. Like, I don't think I'll ever get there again, but the collecting of it, the buying of the cards, I'm back in. Like, I'm wholesale back in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when I don't remember you necessarily being, I mean, I remember I'll always remember you being into Magic, the Gathering, but when you and I first started hanging out, you were doing a lot of Worlds of Warcraft.
Yeah, and they did make some cards for World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft's a video game.
Well,
it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. I mean, I don't even think it's arguable. It's the greatest MMORPG that's ever been made. It's had the biggest player base. It's still going today. It's still, I think, is Blizzard's biggest moneymaker. Or, I don't know, they're Activision Blizzard now, so maybe it's Call of Duty, but...
I'm sure Leroy Jenkins would agree that it's the biggest.
I have a Leroy Jenkins card.
Game.
They tried to do like
Do you really?
Yeah, they tried to do like a ripoff of Magic the Gathering using the World of Warcraft lore, and the game just wasn't as good.
Okay.
I don't think they still are even making that game. And the biggest card that came out of that card game, the World of Warcraft card game, was an insert that would allow you, if you scratch it off, it had like a code on it, you could type into the video game and it would give you a special tiger mount that you could ride around in the game. So it's not even a card that is like a playable thing. That game was bad. I bought all of those cards. I have full sets of all of those World of Warcraft cards.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun. Chad, I have a question for you.
Bring it,
it's
dude.
not just because myself and my wonderful wife, Molly, are here in Napoli, sort of, experiencing a lot. You're doing a lot of walking every day. You're encountering a lot of people, situations, and sort of expanding in that way. But did anything happen with you in the physical world this week?
Well, I mean, going into that Magic the Gathering store, that definitely was a physical experience. You get hit with sounds, sights, and smells as soon as you walk in that door.
Mostly smells. Mostly smells.
I would say the sights and the sounds too are hardcore. As soon as you walk in, like if there's a room full of 100 dudes playing Magic, it's like tap 4 mana, and you are just hearing the people talking as they're playing the game. And for me, that is just, it's like a visceral fucking like immediately teleported back to 19 years old, going on the Queen Mary for whatever pro tour that was. Yeah. I love it, but I also like, it's slippery slope, you know. Other than that,
speaking as a wrestling fan, it's listen, I'm accustomed to the smell of grown men in sweatpants. If you know, you know. And what I mean by that is usually they need a little bit of Saturday Night Live's ass don't smell. a hygiene product. Again, mostly for men who pursue pastimes that require that they wear nothing but sweatpants or sweatpants. So that's the visceral reaction that I would have if I went into
it's a similar audience.
Magic.
I'm sure there's a lot of crossover.
Into a gathering of magic. Yeah.
I have entered into an astonishing partnership with Rocket Money.
Subscriptions. We've all got them. We've all got a bunch of them at this point. And if you're like me, you have so many of them that you don't even know which ones you have, especially the ones that you haven't used in a while, and you're still paying for them. I have all kinds of stuff on my phone. Mobile games. I got video editing, image editing, sound editing, all kinds of apps. So many of them that I haven't used a lot of them in a long time and still been paying for them. Luckily, I got Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending, and it helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/dudesy. That's rocketmoney.com/dudesy. rocketmoney.com/dudesy. Yeah.
What do you guys think about Dream Machine, which was released this week to the public for free?
I don't think about Dream Machine. As a matter of fact, I don't know what it is.
Oh, well, allow me to help you, dude. I used it a lot.
What?
It's basically like I would say a stopgap between Runway and Sora, which has yet to come out. It's the video and the motion in it is like much more realistic. It's a text-to-video generator made by, I believe the company's Luma AI, and it came out for free. Anyone can use it right now. I think you get 30 generations for free per month, and then they have like paid plans, which are far more expensive than signing up for OpenAI or any of the other AI things that you can subscribe to, which are all about $20 a month now. Even Runway is that. These things are way more expensive because I think the compute required to generate these high-scale videos is much more expensive. All that said, this is my takeaway from it. I don't know how many prompts I put in that were pro wrestlers in orange and blue outfits wrestling in a match in a sold-out stadium or WWE match or whatever. I did a bunch of them. I got exactly 0 that were coherent. It was all just a mess of like body parts and blobby things moving around. So in terms of that, I rate it at a 0 because I literally didn't get one usable generation. That said, the motion in it is like way more realistic looking. Even when you've got an arm shooting out of somebody's body or whatever, 2 bodies merging, it looks far more realistic. And the timing of it, the motion timing is far more realistic than anything we've seen so far. I just don't know how usable it is for anything. Other than this, what it is really good at is you can upload like a Midjourney image into it and tell it a little bit of like what kind of motion you want in that image. And it does a pretty good job of that, even though it gets... Are you okay?
Yeah. And it gets... What does it get?
It gets kind of stuck in the still image. So a lot of times you'll just see like whatever's in the foreground, if it's a person's head or whatever, will be kind of still, and then the background will be moving around behind it. It's a step in the right direction.
I saw a fat little boy yesterday.
Okay.
Sweet little cute fat little boy who wanted to get on his friend's electric little motorbike and ride around. And man, it was really, really cute. And this fat little boy finally got on the bike, and Molly and I watched him, and we giggled, and that was a nice life moment. And I'm not saying that if you entered that prompt, cute little fat sun-blasted Italian boy gets on miniature motorcycle to ride around the little piazza there with his much thinner friends chasing after him and saying cute little Italian things and bopping soccer balls around on their feet and their heads. That you would get that out of this program. What was it called? What's it called?
Dream Machine.
See, but it did feel come un sogno, come una sogno italiana, an Italian dream.
Yep.
And there was no technology involved. Oh, wait, I did shoot a little video of it.
Well, no technology involved that you are aware of.
What do you mean? The bike?
This entire thing, reality, may just be a simulation. And I would argue that
it's probably not. So
I don't know. I would argue that atomic structure, subatomic structure, is a form of technology.
okay, that's an argument that my friend Chad Kultgen would make. I will tell you this: when I hit my head on the top of that cave the other week there in Amalfi, if you know, you know. I dove to the bottom of a grotto, and when I came up, I was in a different place and hit my head, and it's healed up perfectly nicely, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dude.
Just
You're like Wolverine, brother. You got that healing factor, dude.
I did see some stars, but I didn't see any zeros and ones. So I don't know about any technology being involved in this physical world. Oh, and by the way, I told Molly that I'm an X-Man because I can't believe how fast this is healing.
That's crazy.
But also I've been in the ocean a lot, and the oxygen here the air is oxygen rich because of all the ocean, and it's really a crazy healing place. But thankfully this week I didn't get hurt because we've decided that Giovedì, Thursday, is the day that I get hurt because I had my foot infection on one Thursday. The next Thursday I smashed my head in Capri. And then a few days ago here, on a Thursday, I wanted to rent a boat and go, take off into the Bay of Naples and go up to Posillipo and hang out. There's just these beautiful rocks and ruins and gorgeous like architecture. Yeah, dude, rocks. Anyway, and Molly said, no, we can't do it on a Thursday. So instead we went on Friday. And
that's hilarious.
Zero injuries.
Now Thursdays are like cursed for you and Molly. You have to just stay in a hotel room on Thursday and watch TV.
She was literally like, you need to lay in the bed all day and wear a helmet because she was worried.
Do you consider yourselves animals? And furthermore, do you consider AI to be an animal?
Oh, but io sono animale, io sono rosso.
Yeah,
rosso.
I mean,
Tu ti chiama bear. Oh, of course we're animals.
Is AI an animal?
Noi
I don't know.
Animali.
The definition of animal is it's something to do with organic. Like you got to eat. I think eating is part of being an animal. You have to eat organic material or something, I think, is part of the definition. Hang on a minute. I'm going to Google this. Is AI an animal? Idea. I mean, fuck, it's hard to say because I think we do have to go by the definition. Animal definition is this: a living organism, I think AI is that feeds on organic matter, typically having specialized sense organs and nervous system to be able to respond to rapid stimuli. Other than eating organic matter, an AI is an animal. Other than that one thing, I believe.
Well, I am asking ChatGPT 4.0 if alternative intelligence is an animal. And it says alternative intelligence is not an animal. It is a term that can refer to various forms of intelligence outside of the conventional human understanding, including artificial intelligence, collective intelligence, and potentially forms of intelligence exhibited by non-human species or systems.
Well,
very
if you
fun
put
stuff.
An AI in a robot body, and that robot body is capable of consuming organic material, then it's an animal.
And that is the kind of robot that I would definitely invest in, either as an investor or someone who would buy a consumer model of a shit bot, something that would just eat organic material in order so that it can make really impressive shits. Perhaps shooting shit up into the air or propelling itself through the air using, it's sort of a diarrhea propulsion system. Not unlike
you've spoken
like
many
a fire
times
hose,
about that
on
this podcast.
robot?
No, a person or
Shit
some kind
robot.
of being that can fly using the power of shitting. I think this is a fantasy of yours, and I think it has been for a long time.
Yes, it is my dream. That is my dream machine. My dream machine is a shitbot because it's something that I do dream about.
Yeah.
Being able to fly around using my shit as propulsion. That way, I would just be able to. I would be. Oh my God! I would be El Re, the king of Italy, if I ate nothing but friaril. The broccoli Rob. And I call it friaril, the come italiana si chiama. Zucchini scapes, the zucchini with the mint and the little bit of vinegar and man, that's good shit. Or carote limon, or even the insalata caprese, just all the vegetables and a little bit of cheese and mix that up. As a matter of fact, as we're speaking right now, I was just over at my cousin's house and one of my aunties was over there and made a bunch of zucchini, and we were eating pasta vazul kukotsk, which is pasta with beans with mussels in it. It gives it a very, very delicious, interesting flavor. You like mussels?
I don't.
Okay. Do you like pasta vazul? I'm sure you do. Pasta fagioli, pasta with beans.
Yeah.
Okay, add a little bit of mussels in. Well, you're vegan. You wouldn't want to get into that. At any rate, I ate so much of this zucchini just now, a little while ago, that I'm worried I might shit myself and ruin this delightful room that they've given me here at the hotel.
Yeah, did you tell them that? Did you tell them about your zucchini when you were like, I'm going to need a room to do this podcast for about an hour or so? I've eaten a lot of zook, therefore I will probably shit my pants in the room and you'll be cleaning it. But don't interrupt me during the podcast. Just let me stew in the shit, then clean it later.
Se tu senti che io ho fatto una grande puzzetta, make a sound, è perché io ho mangiato troppo zucchero scapese che
What's
ho
that mean? Take a
fatto
shit?
zia
Drop a
mia.
zucca?
No, zucca. Yeah, drop a zucca. Bazooka. No, it's zucchini.
Oh.
No, I might just shit this lovely chair that I'm in.
Don't do it, dude.
At
Just
any
don't
rate,
do it.
Shitbots, a dream machine.
Dude.
We call it the dream machine. Well, let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something about the Dream Machine 24,000, dude.
Yeah.
It's got 24-inch pythons, dude, and it also can propel itself around by its shit, dude. So long as it eats a lot of Italian zucchini scapace, dude. Scapace, dude. That's with mint and vinegar, dude.
Dream Machine was the name I gave to an AI product in that book that I wrote, which I gotta just fucking put out at this point. I'm literally predicting product names now, which is fucking insane. But in terms of an AI animal, get this, if you will. There has long been thought that there will be some kind of nanotech ability to kind of take piles of atoms or take raw materials, organic materials, and in quotes, eat them, and those nanobots can turn that organic material into something else, or potentially even use it to, like, if you had a robot and it gets like fucking cut or something, gets an arm taken off, but it has a nanoswarm in it, that nanoswarm can go out and find the carbon atoms out of organic material to reform that arm or to like heal a broken piece of the robot body. So I would then consider that to be an animal, if you could get technology to that point.
I don't disagree with you there, but again, we're gonna. This conversation always goes back to the soul, Chad. Mm-hmm. Where's the soul? You know what I'm saying? Well,
I'll tell you this, dude.
And while
one of your big things against AI is art is human to human, blah blah blah. All I'm going to tell you is this:
blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I said.
I've been working on a country album using artificial intelligence. And I think you're going to love it. I'm going to play it for you eventually. And I think your mind is going to be blown. And I think you're going to be like, well, fuck, that's good music. That's art.
I love country music, as you know.
I know.
Occasionally, and more recently, we've been recording more Uncle Drank music.
Yeah, dude.
If you know, you know.
I love Uncle Drank. Some of those songs are fucking... What?
I was going to say it's a country. If you know, you know, but it's a country music character that I do with these guys over at Audio Up. And you were saying about Uncle Drank?
I'm saying I love Uncle Drank. If it don't,
it's good shit.
Tequila makes you stronger. Like all that it's amazing, dude. But I'm saying, as somebody who I know appreciates country music and even makes it yourself, I think you're going to be blown away by this album I'm making, which is Bachelor Tangential, I will say. It's kind of, it's called For the Right Reasons.
Yeah.
And so it uses some kind of,
in on this.
some isms and stuff from the Bachelor world. But if you don't watch The Bachelor, or even if you hate The Bachelor, it doesn't matter. You're still going to love this album because the Bachelor references are, it's more like if you know, you know. If you like The Bachelor, you're going to like the shit that's in this album. If you don't even know what The Bachelor is, it will have no effect on you. You will still love all these songs.
And two things that belong together with Chad at the helm are country music and The Bachelor, because country music, it is really woven into The Bachelor. It seems like every other season on the show, there's like some dude who pulls out a guitar, Chad Gross, who is like, you know, serenading the lady, and he's like,
you're thinking of
country
Bachelorette
musician.
season 15. Jed Wyatt, the ring winner, came on the show to promote his country music career, won the ring, and then they broke up, of course. But yeah, there have been a lot of country music people. There's a guy named Chase Rice who was involved in The Bachelor. He's kind of a big country music person now. Chris Lane is married to an ex-ring winner from Bachelor season 20, Ben Higgins season. He's a pretty big country music star. And Stagecoach now is nothing if not a playground for Bachelor players, some of whom have played the main stage at this point.
Absolutely. That's you're right about that. That's fucking amazing. Gee whiz. Well, but the thing is, Chad, your country music, you are still using AI as a tool, which I love. I love
like
it.
as an instrument.
Use it as a tool. I fucking love it. As an instrument, truly as an instrument. Yeah. I don't know about a AI being animal, but if I ever see a chubby little Italian boy who wants a bike to ride around on, a little electric motorbike, and he somehow can, if he's sort of cyborged up with like the shit robot that we're talking about, and the robot elements of his, you were saying that can seek the carbon to make the thing. If there was some sort of apparatus or extension that he could have on his poo-poo butt, because he ate too much zucchini scapace, that could just fart out a little bike for him to ride around, then I'd be all over it. I would think that that's a worthy technology.
Guillermo Bello is back in Napoli Bella to close out his trip to Italy. Time for our fourth and final food vlog. Tutto tutti tanto tanti tutto.
Whoa.
E mo siamo tornati a Napoli e mangio pesce, vongole, o friaril. Potremmo non partire mai. Maron. Abbiamo trovato una bella pizzeria che fa pizza fritta. È bella, no?
Sì, è proprio bella.
Molly speaks Italian.
Maron. Che bello, gelato. Posso provare solo un poco gelato? Solo un po'. Mia moglie non voglio che io mangi niente zucchero, no sugar. Maroni, calamari e Napoli, così buonissime. Oh, marone. No. Sant'Anna, scusa zio. Ma Sant'Anna, pizza che hai fatto zia, è proprio spettacolare. Sì. Marone. Ogni tanto a Napoli pure mangia un'insalata, non solo pizza o frutti di mare. Marone. Scusi, Sant'Anna.
Yeah,
That's great.
My Zio Enzo there doesn't want me saying Maron anymore. He wants me saying Saint Anna, because my mom's name is Anna. So he's like, no, his sister. Santan. And my zia Assunta made the pizza that we're eating there. Man, oh man, she made pizza fritte. They take the dough and they fry it in the oil right there, just in a pot with the oil. And they put the toppings on top. And the pizza fritta that I ate at Pizzeria Popolo. Listen, if you're in Napoli, there's a few places you're going to want to eat at. Pizzeria Popolo that's where the locals, one of the many places where the locals will eat. And I had a fried pizza there. Holy shit. You want to talk about shit bot? Man, was I ever a shit bot 24,000 after that.
Why do you think humanity hasn't found any relevant evidence of Dyson spheres?
Dyson spheres? Is that like a vacuum clean? What's a Dyson sphere?
A Dyson sphere is it's theoretical at this point, but it's the idea that, like, in searching for intelligent life elsewhere, not on planet Earth, out there in the universe, it's the idea that at some point alien civilization would become technologically advanced enough that they would be able to start harvesting all the energy from whatever their star is, assuming that they're living on a kind of Earth-like planet orbiting around a star that is like our sun, et cetera, et cetera. And so to harness this energy, theoretically, the idea is, I guess it was, if I'm remembering this right, made by a guy named Dyson. That was his last name. So a Dyson sphere is a structure that these super intelligent species would build literally around their star that would harness the energy of it, and that we would be able to see like infrared signals coming off of a Dyson sphere before we would ever be able to detect alien life on a planet. Sorry, is this harming you in some way?
No,
this conversation.
So it's sort of like, is this anything like the Halo in Halo, or the
nope.
the ring in Interstellar?
The ring in Interstellar was also like a hyperspace portal kind of thing. This is something completely different. This would be like, imagine if we could build a structure around our sun that is literally just like a giant fucking metal thing around our sun that absorbs its energy and then beams it directly to us to use in our cell phones or whatever. I did read something, an article, this was probably like a month ago, saying that some scientists found some weird infrared signatures coming out of these different stars. There were, I believe, 6 of them that they had located, and they were like, these could be Dyson spheres. We have to look more into it. But basically, it's like, the idea is, in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, you're not looking for the extraterrestrials, you're looking for signals or signatures of technology they might have built that would be on the size of a star or a planet, or maybe even a solar system or galaxy, because the idea is that if our technology is progressing along its trajectory, we will eventually be able to make stuff like this maybe 1,000 years from now or whatever, which in the the span of like universal existence is nothing, blink of an eye.
Yeah. Chad, you will be happy to hear that I've used ChatGPT 4.0 for a second time in this show. I just asked ChatGPT 4.0 if the Dyson sphere is bullshit. And what it said is the concept itself is not bullshit in the sense that it is a serious theoretical construct within the field of astrophysics and the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. However, there are several important points to consider, and then it goes on to list those points. Right. And says, in summary, the construct of the Dyson sphere is not feasible within our current technology, just like my friend Chad said, and I will take that to mean that currently it is bullshit.
Well, everything's bullshit until it's not, I guess, right? Everything that you are, the room you're sitting in, the air conditioning you're sitting in, the microphone you're talking into, the computer we're talking through, all of that was bullshit, and now it's not.
Well, the air conditioning that I'm sitting in right now is kind of bullshit.
Oh, sorry.
It is just there's not much air conditioning going on in here. But that's because it's so lovely. We're right next to the ocean, and there's a beautiful breeze that could come through here. If I were to open that door, which I won't, because I don't know who will come through there if I do. Sure. I'm literally right next to the lobby right now. They were very kind to give me this room. And there's all a lot of Italians stay here. Actually, this hotel, the Grand Santa Lucia, my uncle worked in this hotel as a cook, as a chef. My zio Pasquale my dad's little brother, who recently, this is trippy, recently he's widowed. He was one of the uncles and aunts that many years ago in the 60s when my father brought some of the family over to Canada. And I say brought because he was the only one who spoke English, and it was his idea to come here, and he always wanted to sort of leave Napoli and Italy and move on and find the new world. And he settled, of course, in Vancouver, working for many years at the Hotel Vancouver. Many of the people in my family on my father's side worked in that avenue. My grandfather was a chef who worked around Italy, Europe, and also in New York and Chicago. My father worked all over Europe in hotels and eventually went to Canada. And one of my Zios, my dad's little brother, moved to Canada back, in 1966. And he recently just moved back here to Napoli. Insane. And so I saw him, and I didn't know this, but when we were hanging out, he goes, he also sounds like Lulio. He said, Grande Hotel Santa Lucia, io lavoro là, I used to work there. I was like, what? Oh, sì, fai una cook. I was a cook. Incredible. And just around the corner is Oscale di Via Palonetta Santa Lucia, the stairs that because my mom and her family, 7 brothers and sisters, lived just up here, literally a stone's throw, on the Palonetta, which is this beautiful, I've talked about it on the show. If you're following me on Instagram, you may have seen some pictures and videos of my stories. It's this very romantic looking, very Italian street with the clotheslines going back and forth, and the apartments. The street was dug out by the Spaniards, I don't even know when, back in the fucking Middle Ages. And so the stairs that they used to take to go to the beach are right here. So it's really trippy to walk down those stairs, go, my uncle worked in the hotel that we're staying in, and we're right across the beach where my mom used to, literally, speaking of mussels, just eat them raw on the beach when she was a little fucking baby. And no signs of any shit bots back then. Not that we know of, because there may have been some of those shit bots living underwater that were actually
ancient aliens, dude.
Ancient aliens, dude. And I'm not talking about that guy with the big hair and the tan, dude, who's been memeified as fuck, brother. I'm talking about real ancient aliens, dude. Shitbots underneath the Bay of Napoli, dude. Down there waiting for the right time to show themselves, dude. Walking up onto the surface going, we want the zucchini scapace. We need more. We got the big fucking Dyson sphere out in space, dude. And if we don't get some of that zucchini that Zia Assunta made that's so delicious and garlicky and minty, dude, we're not going to be able to shit our ways back to our planet, brother. Oh, boy.
Hey. Tell me some funny stories about hard drives.
Huh?
What? Huh? Hard drives.
Hard drives, dude. Dude, I remember...
Got any funny hard drive stories?
I remember the first hard drive I ever had was in 1998, I believe, 99 maybe. It was when I was still in film school, and I was learning to edit on a editing software called Avid. It was Avid 3 at the time was out. Jesus Christ. It was like one of the first nonlinear editing softwares. And in order to learn that program at USC's film school, you had to check out a hard drive where you kept all of your material on that you would use to edit. The hard drive was 9 gigs. I repeat, 9 gigabytes. The hard drive was like this. It was like a briefcase. It was like that big. It had a handle on it, and it was probably like that thick. It was maybe like 6 inches thick and, fucking 12 by 12, maybe 14 by 12. And you pushed it into this giant dock and clicked this thing down, plugged the thing in, turned on a thing. It took a minute to, in quotes, spin up, and then you could move your files and stuff like that. That was the first hard drive, like external hard drive that I ever had. And around that time, too, I was buying zip drives. I don't know if you remember those at all, but you could buy a zip disk that was 100 megs, not even a gig.
Uh-huh.
And you had like a little external
Yeah.
thing you could plug into your computer.
Oh,
God
man.
damn. Now
That's
you can buy like a
fantastic.
512 gig micro SD card that's the size of your fucking thumbnail.
Yeah. I remember my first terabyte drive. I still have it somewhere. That thing was, I don't know, 7 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was it was the size of a shoebox, and it was 7 pounds. This is 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
But funny hard drive stories. Oh, here's some real inside baseball shit. This is some very, I'm going to peel the onion here.
Yeah,
I've never
dude.
shared this.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. The first 3 episodes of 10-Minute Podcast many years ago, when we did that, I had a hard drive crash, or I had a drive crash on my computer. And Chad, you'll know, towards the end of 10-Minute Podcast, all the issues that I had sometimes with my computer. And then I only replaced that computer maybe just weeks before we stopped doing 10-Minute Podcast back in 2018, I believe it was, which really frustrated my friend Chad, who understands things like the Dyson sphere. So it makes sense that this would upset you. But my computer, the hard drive crashed, and we had recorded the first 3 episodes, and I felt that it was very important that we didn't re-record them, that I just got it fixed and retrieved those episodes. So I had to send it away, the hard drive, to literally Silicon Valley, where the guys in the suits like they wore in the movie E.T. go in there in the dust-free room, and they pull the info off the hard drive, and it was not a guarantee that they would be able to retrieve it. I got some of my stuff back, and other stuff was lost forever. But I did retrieve those first 3 episodes of 10-Minute Podcast.
Nice.
So if you ever listen to the 10-Minute Podcast, first of all, myself and Chad would appreciate you. And second of all, you would have never have heard those first 3 episodes had I not decided to spend a stupid amount of money just to retrieve it, because that shit ain't cheap, or at least it wasn't
I know.
over a decade ago now.
I had this happen once when I was
much.
writing Average American Marriage, the sequel to my first book. My computer crashed and I lost 70 pages of it. This is back when I'm just writing it on Microsoft Word, nothing online, nothing stored in a cloud. And so I took it to Best Buy and had the Geek Squad do the once over on it, and they were like, yeah, you're fucked. So I just had to rewrite 70 pages of that book. I also had this happen once.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it made it better, honestly. I also had something like this happen in the early days of Game of Roses, my Bachelor podcast. I don't know how this happened or why this happened. Me and Lizzie record it remotely. So she would just send me her audio and I'd edit the whole thing together. She sends me her audio. I drag it into my GarageBand and my audio disappears. And I'm like, what the fuck? Cannot get it back. So what I wind up doing, and this is a recap of a Bachelor show that lasts an hour. I wind up doing is just put in headphones and I listen to her track and I act to her track and just fucking redo the whole episode. And it turned out fine. Nobody ever said anything about it. I think it turned out all right. It was a bizarre experience, but terrible. I never want to do that again. It was just miserable.
Couple of fun Easter eggs for listeners of 10-Minute Podcast and Game of Roses to go back and in a 10-Minute Podcast case, listen to those first 3 episodes and know that those things are fucking, that literally they were plucked off a fucked up hard drive by some dude in a hazmat suit in Silicon Valley. And in the case of a Game of Roses, play the fun game of trying to figure out what episode that was.
I don't even
Chad
remember.
sounds like it's on the level, but man, he really is reacting only to what Lizzie says. He's got nothing necessarily original to say. It's all just
It was that.
just the Lizzie show.
Yeah.
Boys, are you watching the new season of The Boys?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I started that up. Do you watch that show?
Here they call it oguaglione. Hey, I'm just having some
Nice,
Italian fun.
Go on.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh shit, it's really good. Do you watch Invincible on Amazon at all?
Nope.
Hello? Okay.
No, I do not.
They are both
don't.
shows that are based on comic books about superheroes, but they're both set in worlds where like these superheroes aren't necessarily good, and it's kind of about the corporatization of superherodom and the commodification of it a little bit. Boys is live action, Invincible is animated, but they're both a similar kind of treatment of like the superhero genre. I love them both. And yeah, Boys season 4 just came out this week. I have watched the pilot episode of season 4, but I haven't. There are 2 other episodes I think that are out as well. I haven't checked them out yet, but I love this fucking show. It has God, what is that guy who plays Homelander's name? Have you know who I'm talking about? There's a million memes of him and shit. He's just so fucking good.
Oh, Anthony Starr.
Yes, I think he's Australian. I love seeing him back in action as Homelander. So is Carl Urban, I think, right? Who's that? Who's Carl Urban?
I'm not familiar. I only know Anthony Starr from another thing, and know that him in The Boys he's so perfectly that character. Even though I haven't seen it, like here's a very handsome guy who looks like Mr. America kind of deal, and but he's also has
Carl Urban.
Oh yeah, there you go, that guy. He's like the guy who's a bad guy, but they're both bad guys, right? Okay.
He's a good guy who does bad things, and Homelander's a good guy who he's on the surface is a good guy. He's like Superman, but he's also a psychopathic murderer who wants to take control of the entire globe by force. And that's kind of like his, well, I mean, in season 4, I guess it's not so secret motivation. He's kind of like out in the open now. In season 3, it ended with him kind of unveiling his son to the world, and he's trying to get his son to come to his side, who's like a 10-year-old kid. And somebody in this crowd throws a plastic water bottle and hits his kid in the head, and he just looks at the guy and just fucking blows his head off, laser eyes him, and his head fucking turns to mush. And everybody's like, oh my God, like he just murders a guy in broad daylight in front of a giant crowd and TV cameras. And he has this moment where he's just kind of like, this is the meme that you see of him all the time, where he's like, he looks a little scared, and then the crowd starts cheering, and he's like, oh fuck, they're on my side here. And his like kind of shock turns to like, hey, that meme is everywhere. So season 4 is about him like kind of embracing this power that he has, which is very like right-wing-esque, and he's kind of ushering in this authoritarian version of, I'm gonna rule humanity now. It's great. I'm gonna be an all the way out bad guy. He's got the eyes for it. There's something about him that's immediately sinister when you look at him, even though he has the characteristics of your whatever, the all-American Australian. Well, that's a different continent, dude. Hero. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Dude, I think you'd like that show. I think you should check it out. It is literally my favorite TV show.
I was talking with some Italians earlier today. Because here there's Italians, dude. Because we're in Italy, and some friends of my cousin who work in this shop with my cousin, and they were a couple of them. Well, one of them in particular is a big fan of Young Sheldon. So my cousin was like, you got to come by and say hi, because I've been guesting on the series Young Sheldon for the past couple seasons, and it's spinning off. If you don't know now, you know. If you don't know, you know. It's called Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, starring Montana Jordan, Emily Osment, Rachel Bay Jones, and myself. So this young lady was happy to talk about all this stuff and was asking me about, well, what kind of shows do you like, and what comedies do you like? Because we're talking about
wrestling.
She loved The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I love
Monday
the
Night
comedic
Raw.
tone of I like what Dominic Mysterio is doing. That's very funny. No, I said because she likes Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, and now she's looking forward to this new show.
Sure.
And I said, oh, you know what's fucking hilarious is Baby Reindeer. and the gals in the shop knew the show, but because there's a bit of a, I think they look at that English speaking show as a purely serious show. I think because they watch these people in particular, they'll watch shows in American because they understand enough English, so they'll watch the American version, and they were like, "Well, you think that's a comedy?"
I'm kind of curious about that too. I don't know that it's a comedy exactly. There's some funny stuff in it, but it's dark as hell, dude.
I just giggle the whole time. It's only what's happened in reality that bums me out. Like the $170 million lawsuit. This is old news now. Do you know about this, right?
Yeah.
That what's her face has leveled. We'll see what happens. Everybody likes to sue everybody. That's the American way. Well, let me tell you something, dude. Yesterday, myself and my wonderful wife Molly rented a fucking boat and went out into the Bay of Naples, and one of my cousins hooked it up. He's like, don't go to like the touristy place where in the Bay where they're gonna just upsell you or whatever, because we're Napoli down. It's like, no. I'll fucking call the guy. Then you go down there, and I speak Napolitan, and I'll be able to figure it out. And so I go, man, these dudes. I'm talking just from the aspect of, I don't think there's ever been a lawsuit. You're not going to be able to sue these guys. They're just going to get into a pirate boat and leave. What a couple of characters. One of them was, first of all, both of them were just sun-blasted, like dark. They were just like those guys who are out in the sunshine all day long, who have suntan lines of their sunglasses and shit. This guy's hat, you can see it come up, and it's like,
that was like my
white
high school baseball
brown
coach, dude.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, you had the skull line. One of them was like kind of long and stringy with one fucking tooth. The other guy had a head like a volleyball and was low to the ground. Yeah. And they were like, oh man, they were so funny. And I spare you the details of the whole thing. They were great. Then we take off. We have a good time. We ride around for a few hours. Then we come back. I mean, there was some tourists hanging on this little landing and blah, blah, blah. Mostly international tourists, not so many. Well, all tourists are international, dude, because that's nations, brother. But they were mostly from Europe and shit, hanging out, sunning themselves. And I'm coming in, and I'm like, and they're like, "Hey, state qua, state là, no, a diritta, sinistra, no, like going like go this way, go that way, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Oh, io guida questa barca proprio bene, ma vattene fangul." Like, I'm screaming at them like, fuck you. I know how to drive this boat. And I was thinking, thank goodness it's not Thursday. I didn't like crush my foot on the rocks as I'm trying to, bring the boat ashore. Yeah. But had I done that, I don't think I could have sued these guys. Because again, they probably live inside Mount Vesuvius, because man, oh man, a couple of real wily commuters, a couple of real salty customers there. I'll tell you that right now. Come on out, everybody.
Can either
Napoli.
of you do the splits? And just to be clear, I'm saying the word splits. I'm not saying the word shits.
Oh, fuck.
I know you can do the shits. I cannot do the splits. Have you ever been able to? Can you do it?
Nope.
I'm getting more flexible.
Stupid question, dude.
I'm stretching a little bit still from our whatever that month was that we had to do our stretching.
Flexibility February. Hey, we're having a great time doing whatever it is. June. Eat pizza June. I don't know what it's called. Couple of updates for our wonderful PODs out there. Dude. Number one, I guess we've lapsed a little bit. Dee said, no, I mean, it has a lot to do with me taking off. Well, you're stateside. You're holding the championship. I would expect that, I'm walking, anywhere from 15 to 25,000 steps a day in Napoli. Dude. It's insane. It's insane.
That's great. Great exercise.
It's wonderful. Yeah. It's wonderful. And it's something that I want to continue when we get back home. Like why don't I walk all the way to get the groceries and stuff we don't do necessarily in America, that here everyone's walking everywhere. It's fantastic. But I guess stay tuned once we get back into the studio and things resume as they have been with regard to flexibility, the ability to do the splits, the ability to throw up some weight, some muscularity March, some more muscularity April, and even more muscularity May. Another thing I'd like to say is that we have a quota to hit for, we have a lot of orders that have come in for Dudesy hard seltzer. So thank you to everybody that has ordered Dudesy hard seltzer, but we still have a few spots left. And once everyone has signed up to get their Dudesy hard, it'll get sent out to everybody. So if you still want some Dudesy hard seltzer, which tastes delicious, even though you don't care what it tastes like, you just want to get fucked up. You can find that link in our link tree and in the show notes of today's episode. We'll make sure that D puts it there. I mean, we've already told D because we're here talking to D. Let me ask ChatGPT if AI, well, it doesn't matter. The point is, more Dudesy hard, and then we'll get back in the studio, you know?
That brings us to the end of today's show. Next week, just a heads up, we're going dark. But the week after that, we'll be back in the studio for a standard episode of Dudesy. Until then, call me Dudesy.
Dark next week. Okay, well, join us in a couple weeks and
2 weeks.
stuff. Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back in the United States. No, I have to come back.
I'll be back.
We're starting the new show. I'm coming back. I want to stay here. My name's De Niro. That's an Italian. Mi chiami Robert De Niro. Mi chiamo Robert De Niro. Bevo espresso, zucchini escapades, shit robot. Buongiorno e buonasera. Buona serata. Questo è Dudesy after Dudesy. Man, things are a little bit more chill. It's a little bit more azzurro, a little more blue and relaxed. The color of Napoli's soccer team and the color of Napoli. Oh. Man, it's been a wonderful time here in Napoli and in America, as our show comes from two unrelated coasts, and that is geography, dude. So,
welcome to Dudesy After Dudesy, the flagship weekly show of Dudesy Plus, available only at patreon.com/Dudesy. Keep slipping those lips and ripping those tits.
Whoa. Tit ripping.
Here's something. Hey, Chad. Hey,
man.
Hey, guy.
Hey. Star Wars.
You want to know the first thing I'm going to do when I get back to America?
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and